Hi, welcome back to Antiquaria. I'm Bailey Rivera, and I'm so glad that you can join me today on our series about making your own planner. I am so thrilled with the response that I've gotten for the past two videos and how excited people are to join us and to learn a little bit more about potentially making your own planner this year. Today, we're going to talk all about inspiration and how to get started with actually planning what you're going to put in your planner. So this was probably the most intensive part for me last year when I was trying to think about it and put my planner together and check all the boxes and make sure I had everything that I wanted included in my design. So I'm going to run you through my process and also give you my top 5 YouTube planner / bullet journaling people that I like to get inspiration from for you to possibly check out for yourself. So stick with us and we'll dive right in. The first thing that I would suggest you do is get a scrap piece of paper, or if you have some other journal or something that you like to write ideas in that you want to keep, and do some brainstorming for yourself. So, for example, you want to think about your particular life and what is included in that. Do you have work? Do you have school? Do you do a lot of activities in your personal life, like working out, or like hobbies or crafts, travel, just, anything and everything you can possibly think of that you include in your daily life or in your monthly life or in your yearly life that you might want to include in your planner. And jot that down. Just make a list of all of those things. Like, I like to take photos. I like to travel. I need to plan for my children and their activities. Whatever it may be that is particular to you, just write it down so that you have that as a reference as you're trying to lay out your overall planner. So for me, I obviously run Antiquaria with my business partner, Emma, and I run the team that works here. So part of my planner and my weekly agenda is very dedicated to work tasks, as well as I have a daughter in school, so I have to include school things. And because I have a small child, I also find it really meaningful to incorporate some of the things and rhythms that we are enjoying each month and each season of our year. And so memory keeping and sort of including my daughter's art and the things that we've been enjoying is a big part of what I want to remember and use in my planner. The other things that are important to me are gardening and cooking and meal planning, because I have to plan our meals and grocery lists for my family. We don't do a ton of traveling, so that portion is not as included. However, if we do travel, because of the memory keeping aspect of my planner, I have plenty of space to include that. So that's just a little overview of how I like to think about, just really upfront before I put anything on any paper, what I do to jot down and include in my planner. Another thing that you will want to think about in terms of designing your own planner, and that you might run across if you start really diving into the rabbit hole of making a planner, bullet journaling, all of that kind of thing, because I definitely ran into this last year when I started concepting mine. So on the whole, for the majority, bullet journaling, which very much what I do for my planner is like bullet journaling. However, the following bullet journaling is to fill in your notebook kind of as you go. So essentially you would have a yearly section that you would create before the beginning of the year. And then every month you would set up your month however you want for all your tasks, for all your trackers, anything that you'd like to do for that month. And then you are doing each month as you progress through the year. I think that's a really cool option, and obviously works really, really nicely for a lot of people. I had to face myself and know that probably around February or optimistically March, I would abandon my planner and then I'd be plannerless. So I knew and know very much that I need to make the whole thing at once. And while this is a lot of work, I just know, and what I do is I set aside all of my other projects, all of my other hobbies and crafts for this, week of time, 2 weeks of time, month of time, however long it takes me to make my planner. And I dedicate my time and energy towards making it. And I know, especially after using it last year, that it will assist and aid all of those other things that I love throughout the whole year. So that's a big thing, a big difference in me making my planner, and you can choose to do whatever works best for you. So if you feel like you'll be inspired every month to make it and to lay it out and want to do that and save yourself time, in this busy end of year time wrap up, be my guest. But I personally just know that I need to make my entire planner up front. I want to share my top 5 bullet journaling YouTubers with you now. I definitely enjoyed watching a lot of YouTube videos and tutorials and just people making their journals last year. And I wanted to share the people that I found most helpful and share them with you. So the first one, her name is Riley Autumn, and we'll show all of their YouTube channels and link everything below so that you can go find them. And the thing about Riley is that I found the most helpful was that her drawing style and her toolkit were fairly minimal, like I wanted to be, as well as she has a business creating planners for people a year at a time. So she does a ton of flipping through the entire year, the entire planner that she's designed for people based on their, specific inspiration and the things that they want to include. So I found those videos probably most helpful last year when I was trying to brainstorm and think about what I wanted to include, what was important to me, how I wanted the flow of my planner to be, and seeing things like that don't stop at January, knowing that I wasn't going to do that really, really helped me. The second person is Tina's Diary. Now, her YouTube channel is beautiful. She's a painter, and her paintings are intricate and stunning. So for me, it was just really inspiring to see all of the artistic interpretation she brought into each month's theme. That being said, I did not choose painting or watercolor for my planner and knew that there was no way I could invest that much time in creating it, but that might not be the case for you. So I wanted to share her channel with you because if you want to watercolor or paint in your journal, she is a wonderful resource and has lots of painting tutorials as well. The third person is Amanda Rach Lee. She is kind of she has a ton of viewers. She was kind of the algorithm's top pick for me, but she had some really good, drill downs for how do you, rulers and sort of quick shortcut things for you, as well as like different lettering tutorials, and I mean just years worth of content in terms of monthly themes and yearly trackers and flip throughs and all sorts of stuff like that. So she was definitely worth watching, and I really enjoyed seeing her journals, especially her past journals. And then she would often, reinterpret the same theme that she had done many years ago. So it was also nice to see that, maybe as I moved forward, or maybe as I made my planner, I didn't have to reinvent the wheel each time. And then the fourth person is Plant-Based Bride. And what I liked about hers is that she had sort of a feminine aesthetic. She did a lot of reading trackers, and she just had some really interesting ideas in terms of what you could include in your journal. And I found it really helpful in like analyzing what I might want to include. Like, initially, I wasn't thinking about doing a meal planner, and I wasn't thinking about tracking some of my hobbies or my crafts, and she did do a lot of that, and so I found like just getting those ideas really helpful. And the last person I want to share with you is Joshi Corin. I've more recently discovered her, but she also has a lot of like amalgamations of different ideas. So like 30 trackers you might want to include in your bullet journal, or different ways to plan your budget or make budgeting fun, like things like that. So again, more of a like minimalistic design aesthetic, which I appreciate because I want to be able to work through my planner intentionally but fairly quickly, since I want to make it all at once, and I want to move on and start it January 1st and have everything available to fill in. And I really did find some of her, I just was taking like notes and sketching different aspects of her trackers and the way that she laid things out that I found incredibly helpful. So I hope that you are able to go check some of those people out, and that you find them as inspirational as I do. One other thing that I want to share with you that I have found really, really helpful after you've gotten, sort of your brainstorm of ideas that things that you might want to include based on your own personal life, and I start watching videos. I use that same sheet or notebook. I actually did it in my planner this year to plan for next year's planner. But last year I just did it in a little bedside notebook that I have. So it doesn't have to look like anything pretty or special, but I take notes. So like if I'm watching Riley and she has a really cool illustration or idea, I'll just do a little doodle of that, and so that I can remember the idea as I'm working through my planner, as opposed to having to watch all the videos like as I'm working on my planner, or like I can just kind of have the ideas and then sort of piece them together as I see fit, versus like doing it along with somebody. That's just what works best for me. But I'd encourage you, because this is your personal planner, to sort of do this research up front. So, maybe watch a few videos and see what inspires you, see what aesthetically you like. Some people are much more minimal. Some people are more maximal. Some people do, like I do, a lot of sort of like incorporating a lot of mixed media in, so photos and clippings and stamping and stickers and washi tape. And some people just use a micron and markers, and they both look really cool. And then like Tina's diary, she does full-on paintings like you would do on a canvas in her planner. So there's so many options. I think just like watching and getting a feel for like what you are drawn to and what you think will be inspiring throughout the year as you use your planner is really helpful. And I'll show you a few of my little sketches that I've done. It's just like visual note taking, and I find it super helpful. And just jot down like different theme ideas as they come to you, and different, banners that you see, or ways that they've used markers or paints, whatever is most helpful to you. And I hope that that helps you sort of get your blueprint, if you will, before you dive in and start working on your pages. Thank you all so much for joining us today as we talked about inspiration and brainstorming and sort of where to start thinking about your own personal planner. Next time, we're going to show you my 2022 planner, beginning to end, and I'm going to talk through a little bit about what I was thinking, as well as what I'm going to be changing in my planner for this year. So I hope that you'll find that helpful. I know analyzing last year's and sort of seeing what really worked and what didn't super helped me. So we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us. We would love for you to join us here each week, so don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can find out as soon as our next video drops. Find us over on Instagram at Antiquary Design, and if you found this video helpful, hit the like button or comment and let us know. Thanks again!